What's up, guys? It's Techno Viking 23 coming to you today with a little commentary about Anthem, which came out a couple of weeks ago. If you played early access, you could get the game as early as February 15th. And the game has come out, and it has been one of the most divisive games in recent memory. Having a conversation about Anthem, whether you're on Reddit or forums anywhere, it's almost like talking about American politics. People are so divided on this game. You have so many people on one side that BioWare did a terrible job and screwed everything up, and you've got a bunch of people on the other side who are kind of fanboying out and defending their purchase the best they can. I wanted to kind of weigh in and give my thoughts on Anthem overall because I did actually buy the game for Xbox One, and I've actually been really enjoying it so far, and I'm going to explain why that is, because I kind of have a different take on the way I played the game compared to how I'm seeing a lot of other people play the game. But I also plan on doing a series of more critical videos on Anthem, because the game does have quite a few issues, and I definitely want to address those just in case any of you guys might have been on the fence, or you might be thinking about getting Anthem. And I want to go into all that, but before I did that, I wanted to kind of get out of the way that I actually am enjoying the game, and it's possible to enjoy a game but also objectively look at it and say, hey, this game has got a ton of flaws. The problem with Anthem right now is you have a lot of people on way far on one side just saying everything about the game is completely awful, it's completely terrible. Then you have all the fanboys on the other side defending BioWare to the death, defending EA, talking about, you know, how the game is really good and people are just entitled and spoiled and all this other nonsense that's going on. So I just kind of wanted to give more of, I guess, a moderate take on the game and just kind of tell you guys how I feel about it and what I've been doing. So I actually did play the demo or the beta, whatever it was, the open one, and I pretty much enjoyed the gameplay. I didn't think there was going to be a lot to do in the game, though. The demo felt kind of empty. There wasn't really a lot of activities for us to try out. But then I also did the 10-hour free trial. Not free trial, it was $4.99. You have to sign up for the EA Origins or Premiere or whatever it is. On console, you can't actually get the big one that gave you the game, like the full game ahead of time, but you could do the 10-hour trial, which I did for Mass Effect Andromeda, and it actually led to me buying Mass Effect Andromeda because I enjoyed it enough despite a lot of the flaws. And I did my first 10 hours of Anthem, and I really just kind of fell in love with the gameplay loop and the mechanics of the game and just the way everything felt. And so I had a $30 Xbox credit on my account on Microsoft, so I just went ahead and bought the game for $30 because I figured, you know, I enjoyed the 10-hour trial enough. I'm going to keep playing the game for a while. I really like the general concept they have behind it. And some of the things I really like is just the way that they've done the Javelin suits. Like, it feels really cool to just fly around the world and explore things. And every single Javelin that I've tried so far, I think I'm like level 21, so I have the Ranger, the Interceptor, and the Colossus all unlocked. And it's a different playstyle for each Javelin, and each Javelin feels completely different when you're going around it. It actually kind of feels like you're in the suit a little bit when you're playing the game. It's pretty cool. The Ranger is kind of the jack of all trades, like the Iron Man class, I guess you would call it. He's got the shoulder-mounted missile launcher and some of the ranged attacks, and he's got this cool like electric melee axe that he can use, and he's pretty fun. And then you've got the Interceptor, which I really enjoy playing the Interceptor because it's a lot like Valkyr from Warframe, one of my favorite Warframes. And it also reminds me of the Night Saber armor from one of my favorite animes, Bubblegum Crisis, Tokyo 2040. So that's pretty cool too. And the Interceptor is kind of the quick javelin. It can, you know, do all these triple jumps and dashes, and has this close range melee attack, and has some cool things like it can shoot acid on people and throw like plasma ninja stars. So it's kind of fun. But I gotta be honest, the most fun I had was when I finally tried out the Colossus. I had kind of been avoiding the Colossus because I felt like this is the big heavy class, it's the big tank class. It's going to be slow and kind of cumbersome, and I'm not really a fan of that. But I gotta tell you, the first time I jumped in the Colossus and I jumped down from Fort Tarsus, it felt like it was just so heavy and just like this big industrial tank, and just the way it moved and the way it felt kind of lumbering through the forest, like it just felt really, really good. And then I jumped into like a world event with it, and I pulled out my autocannon and I just laid down like 100 rounds, switched to my sticky grenade launcher, blew up a bunch of scorpions, and then pulled up my flamethrower and my mortar launcher. It was just so much fun, I have to be honest. It just felt like I was playing Mech Warrior again. Like, you're just in this giant mech, just dishing out all this destruction. And I kind of started laughing like a madman while I was doing it. It was so much fun to just kind of play the Colossus, and I've been playing him pretty much ever since, switching over to my other javelins here and there. But that's just one of the main things that I really, really enjoy about Anthem, and I can kind of see the gameplay hopefully being able to carry this game forward. They have a lot to build on with that. It's just very enjoyable to go through and just try out each different suit. And, you know, really, I think the main thing I'm also enjoying about this game is that I'm taking it at a very slow pace. I'm on the closer side of 35 to 40, and I don't have a ton of time to play games during the week. I have a lot of time on the weekends sometimes, but during the week, it's like I might have 2 or 3 hours a night. And I've kind of been taking Anthem almost like a multiplayer Dragon Age Inquisition sort of type game. So what I've been doing is I've been doing all the quests. I've been doing some by myself. I've been doing some with the matchmaking, which has worked pretty well for the most part. And I'm just taking it at my own pace. I'm a challenge guy. I'm a completionist guy. I love achievements. And this game's got a ton of challenges. I know a lot of people were complaining about the one mission where you have to do all this stuff to unlock these the tombs to get in to see General Tarsus. And there's these 4 different tombs. And you've got all these challenges you have to finish before they'll let you in. I honestly had most of them done before I even got to that quest. I know a lot of people were complaining about that quest, but I go out and free roam and just farm so much stuff and farm world events all the time and do all my weapon challenges and do all the javelin gear challenges. So I really enjoy unlocking all that stuff and going through and filling out like the record book, so to speak, getting all my challenges finished and just farming all that stuff. So I've been having a lot of fun trying out the different weapons, trying out the different javelins, and just going around and getting used to the combat style that each one offers. And as I said, I'm taking the game at a much slower pace than I think a lot of people are. I saw a lot of complaints after the first week the game was out where everyone's like, oh man, I put in 80 hours in like 4 days and I'm already at the end game and I don't know what I'm going to do. There's nothing to do in this game. And to be fair, there is quite a lack of end game content in Anthem right now. The loot is also a problem. Those are things I'm going to talk about, like I said, later on when I do a more critical video. This video is more about me just giving my viewpoint on why I'm enjoying the game. I don't think this game right now is something that's going to satisfy hardcore players. There just isn't enough to do once you get through the initial story bit and the side quests and things. There just isn't enough to do, and that is definitely a problem. That's something, like I said, I'm going to talk about how BioWare kind of screwed up on that end. But at the same time, some of those people, it doesn't really matter how much content there is in a game. When you're playing it that much, there's really not any developer that's going to be able to satisfy that kind of demand. Especially with this game at launch. So I don't know, a lot of the reviews have been overly critical about a lot of things. It seems a lot of people have jumped onto the EA, you know, let's just hate the EA games because it's the bandwagon thing to do. And I know negativity sells a lot these days, so you see a lot of especially like the YouTube reviewers are just going super negative, even though there are quite a few good things that this game has going for it. And I really do hope that BioWare is going to get a chance to fix a lot of things. I will give them a lot of credit for that. They've been very responsive. They've been on Reddit answering a lot of questions. They've patched the game several times already since it came out. But there's not much of an excuse to have to patch a game that much when it first comes out. But they've been pretty responsive for the most part. I am pretty concerned though because with Mass Effect Andromeda, it came out and actually didn't have this rough of a release, and it got shut down pretty fast. No DLC, no support for the game after a certain amount of time. And it got dropped really, really quick by EA. And I think they've got a great foundation with Anthem so far, and I'm really hoping they don't pull the plug super early with this game, because I can definitely see the potential of it and where it could go. It's got a very enjoyable gameplay loop and gameplay mechanics. You know, the weapons, all the javelin abilities, everything just synergizes so well, especially when you can get into a team with 4 other people and you're all playing the different javelin suits and synergizing off one another's abilities. The combat is just really, really fun. So the general gameplay mechanics are just awesome in this game. I love flying around and shooting stuff and just having a great time with that. Checking out this beautiful world. The game is absolutely wonderfully designed by the art directors and everybody. They've made an amazing looking world here. The game, even on Xbox One X, looks amazing. I played the demo mostly on PC. But I saw that the PC was having a lot of issues achieving good frame rates even with decent hardware, and I just decided since I had the Xbox gift credit, it's going to be a lot easier to buy it on Xbox One and probably a lot easier to deal with. There's usually not as many bugs and issues with the console launch as compared to when the game comes out on PC. Not to mention none of my friends on PC wanted to get this game, so I just decided, you know, I'm mostly going to be playing it as a solo experience on my end, so I'm just going to get it on Xbox. It's easier for me to deal with that way, and then I can kind of just play it at my leisure. Like I said, I'm about 30 hours into the game. I'm not even through the main story yet. I have encountered a couple little bugs here and there, but nothing game-breaking. And like I said, we'll go over all the issues and things, because this game definitely does have some problems. But I wanted to kind of give also more of a positive sort of middle-of-the-road view on it, because, like I said, I can definitely see this game being great down the road, just like The Division was. But at the same time, BioWare had a lot of evidence of what not to do when this game came out, and unfortunately, they didn't really pay much attention to it. So I call the game right now as just a beautiful mess of a game, because it's a beautiful game. It's so much fun to play at times. But there's a lot of stuff going on with it. It's just an absolute mess right now with regard to some of the optimization and some other things with the game. So anyways, guys, that's going to do it for this video. Let me know if you picked up Anthem. If you haven't yet and you're kind of on the fence, I'm going to have a couple more videos coming out hopefully this weekend where I talk about some of the negative things that are going on with the game, and how I have some concern for the longevity of just how long Anthem is going to last. But we'll get into that later this weekend. I just kind of want to get my more positive vibe and thought out there first before I started to be critical of the game. That way people can kind of see that I'm coming at this from a perspective of someone that really, really does enjoy playing this game, but I also can see that it has a multitude of flaws that are holding it back right now. So hopefully you guys will stay tuned for those. As always, I hope you guys are having a great day. Thanks as always for watching, and I will see you again next time.